How what's up, y'all? It's popping this D. About to react to this vid by Maddie Balls. This is YouTubers with successful music careers. Okay, I want to see who's on here and see how successful they are. Let's watch.
About a month ago, I covered YouTubers
Rice
with
gum.
music careers. So today, I decided to talk about some YouTubers who turned into some legitimately successful musicians. As a YouTuber, it can be difficult to lose the somewhat corny image and give yourself a real artist image. So we're going to be looking at how the artists in this video managed to make themselves successful rather than failing like many of their peers. So I've gathered 5 YouTubers that I think succeeded in doing that, and I was even able to interview one of them for this video. But of course, I can't start this video without talking about Joji, the most successful YouTuber to transition into a fantastic music career. So George Miller went from being the famous comedy sketch YouTuber Filthy Frank to becoming a multi-platinum artist under the name Joji. He always had an interest in music, and he would make rap songs with his friends before he even started regularly uploading YouTube videos as Filthy Frank. He had been posting skits with his friends on his YouTube channel Disaster Music in 2008. Then in October of 2009, he released his first ever song, appropriately titled Greatest Song Ever. He was also in his high school's choir, and he started learning how to produce on GarageBand. Between 2009 and 2011, he took a break from posting skits, and this is when he would be in the rap group with his friends called Beats and Miso. However, not much is known about that collective, and I think it may have existed
28 million monthly
break,
listeners.
but the only footage we have of that group is from 2010.
Oh, I'm about to say, am I playing?
In 2011, he returned to YouTube and started the iconic Filthy Frank show. He continued posting regularly, and he began growing a massive fan base, especially because he created the Harlem Shake in 2013, and it went super viral. In 2014, he made the announcement that he was going to start uploading a little less often because of a condition he had that caused him to have seizures when he was stressed. It was also in this video that he announced his channel, Joji Vlogs, which was the first time that he used that alias. And although he deleted the channel after only making 10 videos, that would not be the last time we saw the name Joji. He created the TV Filthy Frank channel because his old channel, Disaster Music, was at risk of being deleted, and he continued uploading Filthy Frank content regularly. He also created the Pink Guy character, who he released a ton of meme music under, but none of it was really serious. By this point, Filthy Frank was becoming one of the biggest YouTubers on the platform, and he was known for his over-the-top, edgy, and of course, filthy videos. He released his first couple of songs under the name Pink Omega on YouTube, then 2 more under Joji in 2015 on a secret SoundCloud account, but people quickly found out that it was him. He was planning on releasing an album under the name Joji in 2015, but it was scrapped. Joji kept posting music on his account, typically just beats and small songs with little bits of vocals here and there. However, ironically enough, Pink Guy was the most successful musician at the time. A little fun fact for you guys is that Pink Guy and Filthy Frank were featured on Anthony Fantano's meme rap album that he made under the alias Cal Chuchesta. By 2017, the Filthy Frank content was heavily focused on Pink Guy and Pink Guy's music, since Pink Guy released 2 albums that year. It was in albums like Pink Season that you could get a little bit of a taste of Joji's music. The Filthy Frank uploads began to slow down, and at this point, Joji was signed to 88 Rising and had released a few songs on their YouTube channel. He was kind of juggling 2 music careers at once, with Pink Guy being the much more successful one. In September of 2017, George killed Filthy Frank, marking the end of the Filthy Frank era. Then, shortly after he killed Filthy Frank, he released his debut EP in Tongues with great songs like Will He, Demons, and World Star Money. Will He even went platinum, so Joji came right out of the gate
killing the character and then emerging with
his SoundCloud strays and his Pink Guy meme songs. The next year, Joji released his debut album, Ballads 1, which had artists like Tribute Red and Clams Casino. The album was a smash hit, with big songs like Slow Dancing in the Dark and Yeah Right. The song Slow Dancing in the Dark went 5 times platinum, which I don't think a single YouTuber has ever done before. These songs became so popular that Joji garnered a giant fan base outside of his YouTube fandom, with many fans not even knowing that he made YouTube videos. Since then, he's dropped 2 more very successful albums, and he just had another hit with the song Glimpse of Us. Joji clearly always wanted to be a musician, and he even said in an interview that he created his first channels to support his music career, which may be why the channel was called Disaster Music.
So I definitely, if the other stuff didn't work out, then I would have gone straight into.
What does his shit sound like? What genre is it?
Stuff anyway, always. I just wasn't releasing it publicly at the time.
But since Filthy Frank took off, he went with it. He was getting tired of the Filthy Frank stuff, and he wanted to finally pursue his dreams, and he decided to go all in on Joji. George was very smart because throughout his entire career, he was planting little seeds of him doing music. Then he just completely broke away from Filthy Frank and went all in with Joji, and it worked out perfectly. There's plenty of people on YouTube that have covered Joji's career much more in depth than I did on this video, but this is basically the gist of it. So yeah, Joji has had one of the most bizarre but really cool music careers that I've ever seen. Speaking of bizarre careers, KSI is another YouTuber who has branched out in many different directions, including music. KSI is a man of many faces. A YouTuber, boxer, entrepreneur, and also musician. KSI is also one of the biggest YouTubers on the platform, and he's been doing it for longer than most. He started his first channel, G-Day Jr. in 2008, and he posted some FIFA videos and his first ever rap about chemistry that he made for school. He then made the KSI channel, and he also did a rap in Modern Warfare, which I guess would be his second song. He then started doing more FIFA videos, then did different types of gaming videos, moved on to comedy videos, and he continued doing a wide variety of different things throughout his career. In many of his videos, whether it's it's comedy or gaming, he would find a way to infuse himself rapping, but typically he had a little bit of humor in it. However, one thing is clear, and that's that he's always liked music. One of KSI's earliest songs that could be considered a serious one is when he featured on a song by Sway called No Sleep. He then later signed to Sway's record label called Decipher Productions. His first official rap song was Lamborghini in 2015, and it even hit 30 on the UK singles charts. It wasn't a very serious song, and it wasn't really meant to be taken seriously, but it was definitely a fun song that fans enjoyed. He continued to release a few EPs and singles, but he wasn't really known for his music, and people that did know his music didn't really take it too seriously. He even said himself that music was just a hobby that he did alongside his videos. But like I said, KSI was signed to a label which allowed him to get features from artists like Waka Flocka, Stefflon Don, JME, and more. In 2017, KSI left his group called the Sidemen, and they staged this whole fake beef. They made tons of diss tracks against each other, and they used it all to promote themselves. Their diss tracks got tons of views, and they made tons of money from it. This was all during the diss track era of YouTube, which KSI obviously took part of. KSI dissed Logan Paul, Quadeca, and more. In terms of his music, he was probably most known for his diss tracks and his less serious songs, leading people to see him more of a YouTube/funny rapper more than an actual artist. He continued putting out music from 2017 to 2019, and he even signed another record deal with RBC Records and BMG in November. They wanted to take his music to the next level and further develop his music career in the US and internationally. And I think it was after he signed to this label that his music career would be taken much more seriously.
I'm kind of now at a point where I'm able to really find my sound, make good music, and I'm happy with the music that I'm producing. And now I can just put more stuff out, put more content out, and work with people that I never thought I'd be able to work with.
He began releasing singles in preparation for his 2020 debut studio album Dissimulation, which had a ton of features from artists like Offset, Trippie Redd, Lil Baby, Rick Ross, AJ Tracy, and many more. The album even debuted at number 2 on the UK charts, and eventually it was certified gold. Since he released that album, he's released his album all over the place, and he's had 6 songs chart in the top 5. His work under his new record label was taken much more seriously because of the increase in quality, the subject matter, and the features. Now, a lot of people, especially in the United States, don't really see KSI as a rapper, at least as far as I'm aware. They know him mostly for Prime, boxing, and YouTube, but I don't think people realize how successful KSI is in the UK. He's chart-topping, multi-platinum, and his songs are even on the radio. His numbers are up there with other popular UK rappers like Skepta and Stormzy. It also helps that he has one of the most loyal fan bases I've ever seen on the internet, a fan base that allows him to do whatever he wants and will support him no matter what he's doing. And I genuinely believe that KSI has become a solid artist. Speaking of KSI, Quadeca is another YouTuber who created a great career for himself thanks to a boost he received after his KSI diss track. Quadeca actually kind of started his music career before YouTube since he used to play piano a lot as a kid. He then began making YouTube videos about FIFA in 2012 when he was about 11 years old. He also uploaded a bunch of videos of him singing and playing the piano, although I think he's taken those down. Quadeca would rap in his videos in various different ways, like this one where he was rapping while he was commentating.
Here we go. We make our way into the first game. We pass it to Emmanuel Sin, and I don't know how to pronounce his name. As we cross it to Mitri with a diving header, everybody knows that we are so much better.
He would continue growing his fan base with his FIFA videos, eventually getting tens of thousands of subscribers. Along with his FIFA videos, he would occasionally post rap-related videos like parodies or this video of him and his friends rapping at McDonald's. But 2015 is when Quadeca would release his first project called Work in Progress. He also performed for a school talent show the same year. It was clear that Quadeca had a passion for music. However, it wouldn't be the focal point of his content until around late 2017 and 2018. Up until that point, it was mostly FIFA videos with the occasional rap video, which he would use to promote the music that he was releasing on the side. Throughout 2016 and 2017, Quadeca released a couple of projects. And apart from his serious music, he would also post diss tracks and other fun raps. Then in March of 2018, he released his first ever episode of the Styles of Rap series, where he would rap in the styles of various different artists. This video, along with the rest of the series, was extremely successful, and it helped him grow his audience quite a bit. But it would be minuscule in comparison to the growth that he would receive from posting a life-changing video, and that was the KSI diss track, Insecure. He responded to a comment KSI made about him not being good, and his diss track went viral. The feud with KSI was all over the internet, and Quadeca experienced crazy growth. And honestly, to this day, I really do like that diss track. It's probably one of the best ones from the whole YouTuber diss track era. Regardless, Quadeca was blowing up because of this, and combined with his Styles of Rap series and other popular rap-related videos, he was cultivating a strong fan.
The fact that he said that, but the dislikes, I mean, the like to dislike ratio is still good, but it has 75,000 dislikes. And I'm like, those are clearly like die hard, if it's actually good, those are die hard KSI fans. Because people used to dislike diss tracks just because you're talking about somebody that they like. They wouldn't even listen to before they even watch it, they're like, oh, trash, oh, this is horrible. So I know they was hating.
Album Voice Memos in 2019, and it was very successful. He even got a Genius interview for his song Quadeca was super involved in the fast rap YouTube rapper kind of section of YouTube with other artists like Crypt and Dax, and it was very popular at the time. However, Voice Memos had songs like Man on My Left Shoulder and A Dream I Can't Remember, which showed hints of a different style he would eventually pursue. At this point in his career, he was still both a YouTuber and a musician, and was succeeding in both. Quadeca was pulling in millions of views on every video and song. However, in late 2019 and 2020, his uploads became much more sporadic, and he would eventually take a very big break from YouTube, leading up to his next album, From Me to You, which was released in 2021. This album was super experimental and was produced almost entirely by Quadeca himself, and it was obvious that he was both evolving and transitioning as an artist. It performed very well, especially the songs Where'd You Go and Sisyphus. He even got features from artists like Guapdad 4000, IDK, and Play That Boy Zay, all super good artists. Those guys are pretty underrated. They're pretty good. I like them. Following this album, he released a few more YouTube videos that weren't music videos, and then he disappeared again. Apart from appearing in the occasional Hive Mind videos, he seemed to be pretty much done with YouTube in preparation for his next album, I Didn't Mean to Haunt You, which was released in 2022. This was by far his best album to date. It was very experimental, fully self-produced, and beautifully crafted. It was a conceptual album that was way different from his earlier music. With this project, he was able to solidify himself as an exceptional... I'm using big-ass words and I don't know how to say them. With this project, he was able to solidify himself as an exceptional artist, cultivate himself a strong core fan base, and he even received a 7 out of 10 from Anthony Fantano. And if you guys don't watch Anthony Fantano, that's a pretty good score. Because of how experimental and different this album was, it wasn't as viral as his previous music, but it was an opportunity for him to evolve into the extraordinary artist he is today. Following this album, he has not released any YouTube videos, and it's likely that he won't return to YouTube full-time, but who knows. And personally, I love this album. I thought it was phenomenal, and I gotta say, for this video, I'm a huge Quadeca fan. I even used to make COD montages with his music.
Get up on the pills, that is not the case. How we took no deal, hey, no deal, I said no deal.
Let's give him copyright, but I'm glad you like his shit.
Simply because of how good Quadeca's music is, I think it's safe to say that Quadeca has transitioned from a YouTuber to a successful musician. Quadeca has also been playing shows recently, like at Aries Wonderworld Fest, and Aries is another YouTuber turned successful musician. Aries has always been very into music, and he started freestyling with his friends in middle school, and even tried rapping over beats on YouTube. When he was in high school, he started to learn how to produce, since he had no one else around him to make music with. In 2016, he started posting music-related videos, which are now gone, but he would also post music on his channel as well. However, the videos that would start getting him some attention were his production-based videos, like a series where he would remake beats in 2 minutes. This series helped Aries garner a lot of new viewers, and he was able to send those viewers to his music. One of Aries' notable traits was how chill and reserved he was in his videos. He didn't talk too much and he was straight to the point, which would help him a lot in the future when it comes to his image.
It was really hard, but today I'm gonna attempt to make the song go a little harder.
On his YouTube channel, Aries continued posting his production-based videos, occasionally sprinkling in uploads of his own music. And this was all in 2017, and around that time his music wasn't the greatest, at least compared to what he has out now. Personally, I think his best song from that era was You're Not Precious. That one still hits pretty hard today. Aries kept posting remixes and other types of music-related videos and improving his sound on the side. And then he released the song Carousel in February of 2018. This song became one of his biggest songs and got a lot of his production video fans to become fans of his music. Shortly after, he released the song Sayonara, which again blew up, and to this day I believe is just barely his biggest song. Those two songs even made it to the top 10 of Spotify's charts. Following the success of these songs, he released his debut album Welcome Home. Many songs from this album blew up, like my personal favorite Bad News, which even had a cameo from Cody Ko and Noel Miller in the music video. Around this time, he stopped releasing his normal style of videos regularly and was mostly posting breakdowns to his own music. He even addressed it in a Q&A.
Where have you been on YouTube? I'm not sure if I really want to go as hard doing those like remix videos and stuff. I do love doing those remixes though. So will you do more songs made in 2 minutes videos? I don't know. I feel like I'll do that way later on. Not at this moment. I don't want to really do that.
Following that Q&A, he mostly posted his own music on his YouTube channel with the occasional breakdown and Q&A, but he clearly was focusing mostly on his music, and it made sense with how successful it was. Following his Welcome Home tour and the pandemic, Aries prepared to release his next album, Believe in Me Who Believes in You. The first single was released in October of 2020, and after a few more singles, the album was released in November of 2021. It was also his first album through Columbia Records, as before he was an independent artist. The album was phenomenal, and quite a different style from his last project. It may not have been as viral as his first, but it still performed very well, and by this time, he clearly had created his own solid core fan base. Personally, I love this album, and I even got to see him live in Chicago, and it was a really good performance. Since the release of this album, all of his content is related to his own music, and he doesn't upload too consistently, but he is constantly touring and performing, so it makes sense. He even has his own festival, Wonderworld Fest, which has included artists like Breakins, Quadeca, Eric DOA, Julio, Midwest, and many more talented artists. And again, because of his great music and reserved personalities in his earlier videos, it's safe to say that Aries is another successful YouTuber turned musician. A newer YouTuber who just started making music is Tough, one who has been recently blowing up on YouTube.
I saw this on the thumbnail, and I was like, what the fuck? I know he just mentioned in a video I just watched that he does music, and I didn't even know he did music at all, but the fact that he on here for having a successful music career is crazy. Let's see what's going on.
Tough is a YouTuber who's been doing YouTube for a super long time, but like most people, he was just uploading random things. He started gaining a bigger fan base when he started making video essays and hopping on trends, and then he experienced his first taste of virality when he released his Smoking That EDP 445 pack where he got caught on April 27th of 2021. A few months later, he uploaded one of his most viral videos to date, and it would change the direction of his YouTube channel forever. The video was called Darkest TikTok Iceberg, and it is still his biggest video to date. He continued uploading morbid videos and began blowing up. After his TikTok Iceberg, he went from 76,000 subscribers in August of 2021 to 1.3 million by August August of 2022. With his newfound internet fame, Tuff decided to drop his first official song, Cherry Soda, on February 24th of 2022. Following that, Tuff dropped a few more singles, and then he released his first ever album, Ear Candy, in January the following year. But what a lot of fans didn't know is that Tuff's been interested in music for a long time, and he's actually been releasing songs for quite a while. Only a couple can be found on his YouTube channel, and the rest are lost. But Tuff is actually in a much earlier stage of his music career compared to everyone else on this list, and he's accumulated a decent fan base for his music while continuing to upload his YouTube videos regularly. So, as a newer YouTuber doing music, I figured I'd ask him a few questions on his thoughts about being a YouTuber who makes music.
So what do you think the current stigma is for YouTubers that make music? Honestly, I think we always got a bad start when it came to music. But what really set YouTubers off was the Rice Gum and Logan Paul era, the Jake Paul era, like all that, because they were making music to actually like make beautiful concepts and sounds, right? They were literally just doing it as diss tracks and ways to get views, and it worked. I mean, I remember watching them; they were so funny. Anytime a YouTuber makes music, people are gonna assume it's like some diss track. Logan Paul, so cool. For views, I really hope.
The rest of this is just an interview.
Not me alone, but it's just.
Yeah, no, y'all go check it out though. I really fuck with Tuff though. I watch his videos all the time over here, so yeah, I'm glad that his music is getting some type of traction. This list was interesting. I'm really surprised that he didn't include DDG in this list though. How you gonna talk about YouTubers with successful careers and not mention DDG? When I think of like YouTubers who turn to music, I think of DDG. Off top, he has such a massive song with Blueface. You cannot escape that song, and he, you know, has been doing pretty decent with his rap career. So I'm very surprised he's not on here. But maybe he's not doing as well as I think. I mean, I don't keep up with like charts and shit, and I'm not, you know, keeping a close eye on his music career whatsoever. But I thought he was doing well, so I would think he would be on here. But I guess not. I'm gonna have to check out a couple of these people though, because of course I know KSI. I'm not interested in listening to KSI's music though. Quedeca. I've reacted to a couple of his videos. I might check him out. Aries, I liked his vibe. I might check him out too as well. Joji is killing it though, apparently. His numbers on Spotify is crazy. His shit went 5 times platinum. Like, what the fuck? I gotta go see what the fuck he's singing about as well. That little clip I played, it didn't sound too bad. You know, his voice sound kind of hypnotic. I might see what that's about. But yeah, I think it's really cool how people can transition from YouTube and, you know, have a successful music career. That's pretty dope. Y'all let me know what y'all think, though. Let me know what other videos you want to watch, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!